What if you could lose more trades than you win and still be consistently profitable? That's not a gimmick, it's just math. This is the core of my strategy and changed my trading forever. I used to find a great setup, get in, and then immediately panic and sell at the first sign of a pullback, only to see the trade go exactly how I thought it would right after I got taken out. This simple strategy completely fixed that and has helped me remove my emotions from my trading. By the end of this video, you'll have the playbook that I use to turn small risk into big profits. A strategy where even after a few losses, one winning trade can put you ahead. Step 1 is about the big picture. You can't make good short-term decisions without understanding the long-term trend. So the first thing I do is take a look at the higher time frames like the daily, the 4-hour, and the 1-hour to see what the market's doing on a larger scale. If I move over to the left, we can see we have a clear trend continuing on up here, followed by a breakout and some resistance up here being tested. I'm now on the 4-hour time frame and I'm looking for two things. I'm looking for key support and resistance zones, as well as the overall direction of the trend. Is the market moving up or is it moving down? That's all. Immediately after opening the higher time frame, I see a zone of resistance that I'm going to mark up right here. And I also see an uptrend that I can mark up with a trend line just like this. Now that I have these levels marked up, it's time to go down to the 1-hour time frame to help me understand when the best time for an entry is going to be. As price makes its way up towards my zone of resistance up here, I'm looking for two things. I'm looking for a clean breakout and closure above this zone of resistance where I can then start to look for a buy, or I'm looking for a sharp rejection at this level of resistance where I can then start looking for a sell. We initially see a rejection at resistance right over here, where we then see it come down and break below this trend line. So when it comes to looking for a sell, not only do I want to see a clean break and retest of this trend line, so not just a rejection at this resistance, but I want to see a clean breakout of the trend line first, followed by a clean rejection at that resistance. It starts off moving a little bit slow, but we do end up seeing a clean break and retest of the trend line with a solid pullback and rejection at this zone of resistance. Once I see that rejection, I know I'm getting close to an entry opportunity. I was originally looking for a sell right here after this first initial move coming down from that resistance, but I ended up missing this entry and had to wait patiently for the next best entry opportunity. After a bit of patience on this initial move coming down, I waited for a pullback for the next best entry, which was up here, where I did end up hopping in my first sell. When it comes to my trading strategy and looking for an entry, there will be multiple opportunities for good entries. After a clean initial break and retest of the trend line right here, we do see price continue on down, giving me another break and retest of a key level up here. So once I see this rejection at resistance and price start to flip and come back down, that's when I hop in my first entry. After my entry, we do see a bit of a pullback coming up, where it then flips once again, coming down for a beautiful move into profit. I did secure partial profit after this initial move, and was then waiting for another entry opportunity to try and catch another move all the way down to this final target. After a little bit more patience, I did get that second entry opportunity over here where I hopped in for another sell. I did then close out a bit more profit after this move coming down because I was expecting a pullback, so I did want to secure a bit more profit. And then after that pullback, we see a beautiful move coming down and smashing my final take profit level. After my first setup hit my final target and seeing how strong of a sell this pair is making, I knew I'd have another clean sell if I could stay patient and wait for a clean pullback, which is exactly what ended up happening. I stayed patient for a few days. We saw a clean pullback coming back up to some resistance, where I then decided to enter another sell. The reason I entered this second trade setup is pretty similar to why I entered the first trade and uses the same confirmation and the same principles. I knew there was strong support in this area, and once we saw it break, making a big move coming down and start pulling back, I knew we could set up for another clean break and retest setup. So I stayed patient, waited while this was pulling back, and then after seeing a clean pullback and rejection up at this zone of resistance, I knew that I had a good selling opportunity right there. Not only did I enter one more sell, but I actually ended up entering 4 more sells throughout this next position. Price was making a strong move coming down, and using the different pullbacks along the way, I was able to catch 3 more entries to that initial first one, all of which ended up being good quality entries. Now, even though I entered multiple positions here, I made sure that I was using very low and manageable risk, so that my emotions didn't take over and I never found myself at risk of taking too big of a loss. This second setup also ended up making a very clean move, smashing my final target once again for another beautiful trade. These are 2 trades that I caught live on stream here on the channel, so some of you might have seen me catch this in real time, and if you weren't there, you can still check them out here on the channel. These were 2 beautiful trades that not only made very clean moves, but they both also had great risk to reward ratios at over 1-to-5 on both of them. Now, when it comes to a strategy like this, and any strategy, there will be other factors that do come into play, like news and economic events like that. So it's important to keep that in mind and try and be as aware as possible of what's going on in the world and how that may impact the market. This is the strategy that took all of the guesswork out of my trading and replaced it with a clear mathematical edge. Once you have an understanding of this and gain some experience with this trading strategy, you'll notice that you're winning more trades, they're more profitable, and you'll start seeing trading in a much simpler way. I hope you enjoyed the video and found it helpful. And if you want an even deeper understanding of my strategy and how it can take your trading to the next level, check out this next video, and I'll see you there.